All right, Maximus Analysis here for February 20th, 2016. Saturday video. Yesterday got a little bit busy after the close. So just want to say that we have a level here that I think the bulls, based on the weekly chart. Now this is the ES, E-mini futures for the S&P 500. And right now we could have a very, very tight fast move to the upside. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is that if we break this down to the weekly time frame, okay, you could see that they're basically setting up fairly nicely here for some bull side potential. Now, this is my trend line and my bear trend line. Basically, if they get below that, I'm going to say that they're officially in a bear market. But they tapped it, and they're, again, the high of this candle is 1933.5. I think if they break above that, they could definitely come and retest these lows if you're looking at the weekly time frame. So we don't want to get overly bearish, and what we want to look and see is if they break below 1900 again. Also, again, if they're going to get below 1871. 1871 is kind of that level that they've been breaking. We've been talking about it. You can see if you look to the left that it's a level right here that they have come and tested many times, okay? And they've recaptured it, so we don't want them to get back below that. Now, if they come in, and of course, if they gap down and break below that, we'll still see what the retracement volume is, because you can see right now that the volume is waning, which is good for a bull side potential or a bull move, meaning that the sellers are drying up. Now, we want to see them get below that area and see if they can test again. They got up to the 1930s. Now we're going to see 1958 and 1987. Okay, if they have some juice. Okay, if they go and break above this, then I'm just like, wow, this really throws me off. But again, you want to be prepared for both sides of the table. Both sides of situations, how you're going to be prepared, and that's what you need to do. Same thing with the NQ. If we look on the weekly, again, now we have a closed candle. You can see that they got to a good level of the previous action. And let's just move this up a little bit. And you could see that basically if they get above this high, which is 42.27, that again they could squeeze up again the bear side. Now looking at the daily time frame, and this is the NQ, you can see again it runs right in line with them just giving a tight little bull flag and then shooting back up, maybe testing around this 4400 level. You have the YM. The YM, again, same deal. Okay, tight flag. We want to see if they're going to break above it, and if they do, how strong they're going to come, because again there might be a lot of bull side, a lot of bear side resistance up around this area, but we also have to understand that they could move. And if you, again, looking at the weekly time frame, not making sure you're not just looking at one time frame, you can see that they've held this 200-day moving average, and they barely tapped it here, and they keep these long wicks are showing that the bulls are fighting back each time once they get below it. So let's see what happens. And also this last week, you can see is on high volume, and usually you want the hammer to a hammer type of Steve Nissen Japanese candle formation, or maybe say Steve Nissen giving the instructions of Japanese candlesticks. You want a high volume on a hammer going into a pullback. So we'll continue to look at that one as well. What I did state, and I did post it on Twitter, was that the contract for crude actually went to the J contract on Friday. So they're all in this target right here. And let me see, let me get this actually to the J contract now. So again, we still want to see how they move in regards to this price action is not as clean as you would like it. But let's look at some names that potentially could be setting up for some more upside, equity names. So you have Amazon, and this is actually not the daily. Here's the daily. Let me go back to the crude chart, because I think that was actually the weekly that I was showing. Yes. So we're just trading sideways for crude. Sorry about that. My charts didn't roll back over for the different time frames. So we're still sideways, but again, you're just in a sideways channel. So we got to see, we got lower highs and higher lows. If they break above this 3450 area, then we could look and say, okay, they could run back up to the upside, but still lower highs and lower lows for now. Lower lows for now. So Amazon actually gave a pretty, they gave a sell signal, but then they reversed it. So now we're going to see who's going to win in regards to, are they going to get back above here? Because then that would give a little bit of a flag for some more upside potential. Again, going to that weekly time frame, let's see what we got going on here. They still could have 1 to 2 more weeks of upside potential. Again, the volume was very weak, but we don't want them to get back below this 512 area. Okay, because then that could really make it break down quickly. We have Priceline. Again, Priceline is actually, it held the 200 and now is moving back up, so that looks strong. We have Netflix, that again is gave a sell signal, but really didn't follow through. But follow through in regard to volume, because usually you want the volume to be light and you want the volume after it to increase. So the line is saying for the bulls around this 90s. Excuse me, for the bears is the 96 areas. Bulls, if you can get back above this 93 area, then we could see something going on. We have Tesla. Tesla, again, everybody seems to give these little flag areas. Now, again, remember with these flags, so just don't look at it and say, okay, a flag's coming, I'm good to go. You want it to not, break below this low if you're getting a flag, and you definitely don't want it to start screaming to the downside. And it's a little difficult because you got some light volume, but maybe that's light selling volume, I'm not sure. But you can see that they have a lot of overhead resistance that they have to get through at this 182 area for Tesla. Apple's chart is really, really hard to deal with. Again, they did give a nice bearish engulfing pattern on Thursday. Not that much follow through on Friday, but again, the bulls, the bears would have their stop in that $99 to $100 range. So Facebook, last one, kind of a really hard pattern to trade. And it looks like it's just been continuing to have a hard type of pattern, but you'd have to be on the side of the bulls right now based on where it lives within the trend. So would I go long right here right now? Maybe for a quick scalp above 106.15, but it would definitely have to be something more of a day trade versus something to buy and hold because of the market conditions. So we'll see what happens on Monday. We have a nice full week coming this week, so take care and trade them well.